live on a Sunday, as we should be. Pro football today with you, getting ready for a great Week 11 slate of NFL action. At 1 o'clock, Joe, the best game on paper is Buffalo-Tampa Bay. But I mentioned a little bit earlier in our show, there are some games where weather is expected. This is one of the big ones here. A total that has been dropping throughout the week. I think some of that may just be, maybe under money is coming in. Let me see if this is right. Are we down to 45.5 in the market right now? Because I know 46.5 is where some sharp minds played it. Hello. Bills, Bucks, Lisi. Listen, I'll bat first. I'm staring in the face of the wind. I don't care. Give me the over. I really like the over in this game. You've got Buffalo in a bounce-back spot where they barely could move the football against the Miami Dolphins. We know they've often been a 30-plus machine when they get into Orchard Park, which is where this game is. Baker and the Bucks are slinging and bringing, and that's what they did last week until the final whistle to get you over that number against the New England Patriots. It's what I think they'll do here against this Bills team. It's Baker and Josh Allen, and I think just way too low of a total. I'm on over in this game.
Yeah, I don't have a really good feel for the total. I thought it was, and I know the weather. I do like Tampa Bay with the points. Under? I lean to the under. I was on the Tampa Bay over last week.
I know.
It's the best bet.
I know. And now here we are.
Yeah, it's just.
Here we are.
You could be a day late and a dollar short. I don't want you to be late on it.
All right.
You didn't like it last week. You liked it this week. You said I could see it last week.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, you didn't love it.
I didn't love it.
Now you love it now with the blustery wind and the Florida team coming up north against, backs against the wall.
Yeah.
That's why I like Tampa Bay to win the game. I think when you look at the matchup last week against the Dolphins, I don't know what that was. That was just a coach that didn't motivate his team. I don't know. They came out as flat as you can be against the divisional opponent. The fact that they scored with about 7 minutes left in the fourth quarter was pathetic. And again, they put up yards. They just moved the football basically between the 40s, and that was it. But I think Baker in this spot, I play it out, right? And this is more of a contrarian pick, just going where do I feel the money is, right? And I just think all the money's going to be on Buffalo because they're coming off a loss. They're coming back home. They've been dominant at home. To your point, all they do for the most part is just print 30-point performances. But I believe Tampa Bay has a better than average rush defense. I think it's going to be difficult, even though they got abused by Travion Henderson last week. I think they step up and buckle up. I think it's a lower scoring game, but I think Baker and the crew pull it out, believe it or not.
Let me ask you this question. Who needs this game more, Buffalo or Tampa Bay?
Well, Tampa's been in this spot before where, okay, they're coming off a loss. Nobody really believes in this team as a legit contender.
It's true.
Right? And 9-8 is good enough to get them in the playoffs, win the division, and they've been there, right? I think they have the ability to be, when they're completely healthy, an 11 or a 12-win football team.
Okay.
I believe in them that much, especially if Irvin was in that lineup and we're seeing more Rachaad White, different type of offensive attack. But for Buffalo, with Super Bowl aspirations and getting punched out like Mike Tyson against Buster Douglas last week as a 42-1 favorite, you had the Mike Tyson moment. Everybody in Miami, McDaniel's saving his job. Miami's going to win 5 straight. That's all you heard all throughout the week.
Yeah. A lot of Dolphins.
It's more important for Buffalo because now you're starting to see more and more fans and Bills backers say, maybe McDermott, it wasn't so much, McDermott's garbage the last few years where they underachieved. They're like, come back. That's what now you're hearing, we need to get rid of McDermott. So, yeah, they need to win this game.
So I think it's Buffalo, and I actually don't think it's particularly close. At the end of the day for Tampa Bay, with a win here, maybe you could beat the perception a little bit. The perception being they're in because they're going to win the South, but they're not going to beat any of the great teams. They're going to maybe even be an underdog at home to start the playoffs, right? And what everybody thinks will be the the fourth team is where they'll slot in. But if you're the Bucs, that's fine in a way, because really that's just a perception thing. The Bucs aren't going to be the 1 seed. The Bucs are going to be in the playoffs, and ultimately they're just hoping that they're healthy when they get there.
Right.
I mean, it's become natural. This happens during a season, but they are still without Bucky Irving, without Chris Godwin, without Mike Evans. This is a team that when they get to the playoffs, it could be the best versions of themselves. And it might not be like, oh, look how good they're playing. No, just look how healthy they are relative to what we've seen. If Buffalo loses this game, it will feel as if you can kiss any chance of winning this division goodbye. You have already lost to New England. You'd be 2 back in the loss column with a game to go in their building. And mind you, one of the difficult things, since you've already lost to them, beating them isn't enough, because the next tiebreaker is the divisional record, and the Bills just lost to the Dolphins.
Right.
So unless New England loses a game to Miami or the Jets, then the Bills are going to have to finish with a better record than New England. That would then put you pseudo 3 games back here with a loss today. I'm not saying the Bills' season is on the line, but we then talk about perception. What is the perception going to be for Buffalo if they lose here? Okay, they beat Kansas City. They always beat Kansas City. The loss to New England will look worse. The loss to Tampa Bay at home, now home field advantage means nothing to this team. Oh, now they're going to have to go on to the road in the playoffs. The last time that Josh Allen was a wild card team, what was he playing, Watson and the Texans in his first playoff game in his career?
Yeah.
I mean, you were talking about a long time and a different spot.
When they played the Dolphins 2 years ago, was that a wild card game when they won 30 with Skylar Thompson?
No, Skylar was on the road. Was certainly on the road in that game because the Bills won the division.
Right.
So that's where you're at here for the Bills, Joe. There is I think so much on the line for the Bills in this spot, and the question then does become, and I know that sometimes this can feel unfair, can Josh Allen step up? His stat lines look much better than reality against the Dolphins. 70% of his passes completed, 2 touchdowns, 306 yards. He was really bad in that game, and he knows it. The turnovers are starting to creep back up a little bit for Josh this year. Certainly they're up year over year. We've seen that. What do you expect from Josh Allen? It's a little weird maybe with the weather impacting this one, but it's a big spot for him.
It is, but he throws in the wind. He throws in the snow. He'll be fine in that aspect. I worry about the identity of Buffalo. Okay, where when they were on a heater at the end of last year, they were running the football with Josh Allen and James Cook. And James Cook is 80% of the offense this year, and we haven't seen the emergence of Keon Coleman the way we would have liked to emerge as that pure number one. It's a handful of guys that they rotate in. They're similar to the Packers, right? What is the offensive identity? Is it Jordan Love? Is it Josh Jacobs? What's the identity? You think it's Josh Allen through the air, but then every big game, they're pounding the rock 40 times with James Cook. And I think that's the problem. Go, Chris Rodriguez shot out of a cannon. That is the problem that you have with Buffalo when you say, okay, I'm betting them for the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
When they go on the road potentially, and we don't know if KC will be there, but if they go on the road to Indy or one of these teams, what are they going to do to take the game over? Can you count on them?
Let me ask you this. Do you think they're going to catch the Pats for the division?
No.
I don't either.
I thought the Pats potentially would be a 7-win football team, 6. Yeah. They've definitely overexceeded expectations knowing who they have left. I don't think they'll be challenged a lot, and I think that's a problem right now. I don't see it. Oh, did he score?
He did, unfortunately. That put Rodriguez at the 1-yard line. Or did they take it back? No, touchdown. Deebo Samuel, Mariota, this Commanders team.
Adjustments.
Moving and grooving. Do we get to its props on the board now? Quick Madrid update here after the break on SportsGrid.
Detroit's going to be a top 6 team in the East. And they're going to be extremely dangerous And it may be fun to watching that Central Division between Detroit and Cleveland. Kind of makes you think back to the old early 2000s with LeBron and obviously the Chauncey Billups-led Detroit team. But Detroit basketball's back.
Pro basketball today, only on SportsGrid.
His daughter, she's on the OF.
Okay.
She's on the OF.
Oh, is
now.
that right?
Yeah, she's on the OF.
So he's got
now.
an OnlyFans daughter and a little son
who says he can beat Curry and LeBron.
And he's coaching a team that was down 72 to nothing.
Keep that dude away from polite society.
Okay, by the way, I'm with you. I didn't know any of that is.
Numerous pops gotta go.
The Craig Carton Show, only on SportsGrid.
I can just cash out and say, see you later, bye-bye, and sell that contract. So there is a big difference. I've already said I will never, ever, ever again make a future bet with a sports book where the money gets tied up and I have to wait till the outcome of the event. Don't have to do that. All future bets for me are going to Kalshi.
The Early Line, only on SportsGrid.
And the major thing you're going to say about Tom Izzo for the jump is, Tom Izzo don't duck anybody. You want to hear who they have to play preseason? Kentucky, Duke, UNC, and Arkansas. This is not the Jimmy Boeheim Don't Leave New York Carrier Dome Classic. This guy plays people.
College basketball today, only on SportsGrid.
All right, let's make it happen here, folks. We are live with you on SportsGrid. I want to stop into Madrid here, Lisi. 13-6. How about a first touchdown score? Deebo Samuel bet. You had to wait that one out.
Yeah.
Mariota with a toss here. They did some really creative screen passes, I thought, on that drive, and it's got Deebo up to 49 yards on 5 grabs. Mariota up to $150 passing. Chris Rodriguez, I believe, is already through his halftime number. Wow. Up now to 77. Live prop is around a century. What do you believe here, live, Joe, could potentially be the way to go? The Commanders, how about this from the books? A full 3.5-point favorite here, total at 39 and a hook.
Well, I just took Rodriguez for 110 at plus 174. I just believe, again, you watched him on that drive. They wanted to run the football downhill, and you start to see now Miami giving up some yards. I think that'll continue, especially if they get the football back with the lead. I don't think Mariota throws the football. If they get the football back up 13-6, I think it's the rushing attack. Let's look to tack another field goal or touchdown on, and then see how much we can get in the ground game. And the ground game might take over in this matchup.
So, I'm going to try again, because I know this is an uphill fight. You think that Commanders are going to look to run the football?
Yep.
Can Krosky Merritt then get a little love here, Joe?
No.
Oh, you're so selfish.
No, you go with what's working. You go with the
Waddle
sledgehammer.
out of a cannon.
Who?
Waddle. You're a little behind me over there. Our main setup is a little on the fritz, so we had to go to Plan B, Plan C even. You don't think Merritt, Joe, I got 13.5 here. He's at 6 yards. Can we get 8?
No, because I've played this game with the Algos multiple times with Cooper Kupp last year with a half a yard.
It's because
he ended with 0.
You're all Rodriguez'd up.
I am Rodriguez'd up.
You don't see any love here for Krosky Merritt?
No.
For Bill? Come on.
No.
Come on. There's gotta be something.
No.
There's got to be something here.
I think it's Washington on the ground.
Right. Perfect. Love it. Krosky Merritt. I can't get you in on this. I mean, there's nothing I can do.
You can't.
How?
Two is shot out of a cannon right now.
I mean, he's being booked right now, Joe, to get another carry. He can't break it for 8 yards, 1 carry. What do you think his final stat line is? Let me ask you that.
1 carry minus 4 yards. You and this Crosby Merritt, Crosby Merritt.
He's going to
has been in Arizona, and now all of a sudden. Come on.
You're not calling a rookie running back a has-been. You can't be real.
Well, he's not like some of the other great backs.
What does that mean?
Come on.
Like Chris Rodriguez?
Chris Rodriguez, at least when he was at Kentucky, put up numbers.
Okay, I mean,
you
sure.
you don't think of Arizona having dominant running backs.
I think of Chris Rodriguez, and I think of a Kentucky Vanderbilt game that you made me bet and then blamed me for betting it as to why you
that
lost.
That was Will Levis's fault.
Yeah, but you tried to make it my fault.
Well, it's always your fault. I'm never wrong. I'm kidding.
No, listen. I've seen that movie here.
Oh, stop.
No, but let me ask you this, Joe. One thing that stood out to me in your analysis is the total isn't speaking to you either direction. You'll at least usually track a total throughout a full game here when we do these shows.
Yeah, I'm playing it out through Dan Quinn's maybe mind and saying, Dan Quinn, they're stopping the bleeding today, right?
Yeah.
They have an opportunity to pull a game out. If they're going to pull this game out or be competitive in the fourth quarter, how do they get there?
Right.
And they're going to get there by, I think, a methodical drive.
Okay.
Again, short to intermediate passes, just the way they did to Debo. They're not going to take deep shots. If they have positive yards with the ground attack on first and second down, they will take that any day of the week.
Yeah.
And they're going to be more, I think, measured in their approach. Whereas if you're Miami, you're trying to get ahead of the sticks here. You're trying to get out in front, right? It's almost like you have the faster horse, right? Well, your horse isn't leading the pace, but at some point you got to get the lead, right? And that's what they're trying to do. But they've been playing from behind right now, which is the MO. It falls right into Washington.
Yeah, I find myself in this spot just really excited to try and grab some live props on Ja'Cory Crosby Merritt. I really think
Ollie Gordon.
That's where
Ollie Gordon sighting.
So back up backs, and I still can't get you in on this.
No, there you go. Ollie Gordon pumping it up. Looked like he did back in Oak State when he was a front runner for the Heisman.
He was never the front runner for the Heisman.
He was one of the. He was the.
Oh.
He was. Wait a second. I don't want to go off a beaten path, but he led FBS 2 years ago, 3 years ago.
Yeah.
And he was the first running back mentioned with the Heisman. I mean, what are we talking about?
Being the first running back doesn't.
Well, that's what we're talking. Well, you know what I'm talking about.
I'm just saying. Now, who won the Heisman that year?
We're gonna go back now.
What?
Jaden Daniels.
So probably undeserving.
Yeah.
You're right. Should have been Ollie Gordon. They didn't give him enough love in this game.
I'm not gonna get into that. Bad year for Daniels. Can't stay upright. Hit like a piñata this year. Can we at least give the guy a little break? I mean, it's bad enough. They're hitting him high, hitting him low. Guy's trying to do everything. He's got no defense. This defense is garbage.
Oh, stop. Do you think he comes back this year?
Nah,
I was talking to someone yesterday who's holding on to him on their fantasy team. They're saying they think he plays weeks 16, 17.
Got to be one of our great producers.
It's a family play.
Oh, okay.
That's a family play. Oh, man, he's getting beat like a piñata. That got me. That's good. That's good. I mean, is Mariota maybe going to keep the job? He looks pretty good.
When you say keep the job,
yeah, like
you want to make
the new
sure.
franchise quarterback.
No, come on.
Why?
Come on.
There's no chance?
No shot.
Why
Don't start. You're just trying to hit the guy when he's down.
No.
You are. I told you at the start of the year Washington was not going to be this wow team. I said it, not you.
Oh, congrats. Can I say something then?
Sure.
Miami, all offseason being like, yeah, we don't think Devon A-Chain can score on short yardage. That's what Ollie Gordon's for.
Right.
And then coming out in like 3rd and goal, and all of a sudden it's like, yeah, I wonder what they're going to do. Ollie Gordon's out there. It's a 4th and goal situation. It's a gotta-go-for-it situation. I tell you, if they don't get it, that's a lot of yards out there, a lot of green. You got to imagine. Crosby Merritt gets a touch or two. Let's get back to the Sunday slate here. J.J. McCarthy versus Caleb Williams. Where's the value in that one? We'll look for it next.
Detroit's going to be a top 6 team in the East. and they're going to be extremely dangerous. And it may be fun to watching that Central Division between Detroit and Cleveland. Kind of makes you think back to the old early 2000s with LeBron and obviously the Chauncey Billups-led Detroit team. But Detroit basketball's back.
Pro basketball today, only on SportsGrid.
His daughter, she's on the OF.
Okay.
She's on the OF
Is
now.
that right?
Yeah, she's on the OF
So he's got
now.
an OnlyFans daughter and a little son
who says he can beat Curry and LeBron.
And he's coaching a team that was down 72 to
Keep
nothing.
that dude away from polite society.
Okay, by the way, I'm with you. I didn't know any of that is
Numa's
great.
pops gotta go.
The Craig Carton Show, only on SportsGrid.
I can just cash out and say, see you later, bye-bye, and sell that contract. So there is a big difference. I've already said I will never, ever, ever again make a future bet with a sports book where the money gets tied up and I have to wait till the outcome of the event. Don't have to do that. All future bets for me are going to Kalshi.
The Early Line, only on SportsGrid.
And the amazing thing you're going to say about Tom Izzo for the jump is, Tom Izzo don't duck anybody. You want to hear who they have to play preseason? Kentucky, Duke, UNC, and Arkansas. This is not the Jimmy Boeheim Don't Leave New York Carrier Dome Classic. This guy plays people.
College basketball today, only on SportsGrid.
All right, we are in with you right here on SportsGrid. If you are wondering, yes, we've had a little Jacory Krosky Barrett at the break.
You and this guy.
I took him over at 13.5.
Yeah.
Minus 110.
Okay.
And I took him for 40 plus at about plus 950.
All right, so there you go. Kid's got legs. He's got life.
Listen, first carry, we'd love to see him get the ball. Let's start with this. Vikings-Bears. J.J. McCarthy leads.
Yeah. Terrible last week.
All right.
8 false starts. I mean, what more do you need with that team last week?
Tell us how you really feel.
No, I'll be honest. That's it.
So J.J. McCarthy has put together 2 good quarters in 4 games. I think is probably, maybe he played a little bit better than 1 quarter. Maybe he's played like 3 good quarters of football, right? Mm-hmm. There was the fourth quarter against the Bears was really good. And it was good for maybe like a half against Detroit. Fine. All in all, though, it's been a rough start for McCarthy, who's in this weird situation because he is a year 2 guy, but it's his first year playing after last year's injury. He is replacing Sam Darnold, who was prolific for this football team. Where are you at right now on McCarthy as not only pertains to betting him week to week, but trusting him potentially long-term with the Vikings?
I don't trust him long-term. That game was glaring last week against – I understand Baltimore's playing much better defensively, but again, there were throws that were just not even close last week. And again, I don't know. Like, he's got that rookie panic at times, and I know – you hear the reports, the offensive linemen love him. You know, they see that fire in his eye. And what fire? What are we looking at
But
here?
when he's walking around, he's going like this, and he's calling himself not right.
I don't understand. Like, get the football to number 18 and get the football to number 3. That is your job. Nobody cares about anything else but getting the football to your top 2 playmakers, and he hasn't been able to do that consistently. Jefferson struggled last week. Addison didn't get a catch basically until the third quarter. I mean, that's unacceptable. And they don't have a dominant rushing attack with Jordan Mason and Aaron Jones to carry them. They don't, and that's a problem.
I think the Justin Jefferson piece of it is maybe the most important, Joe, because Justin Jefferson is well understood to be one of the best players in this league, right? Even if you are changing some rankings around due to great years from JSN and Puka, That's one of the 5 best wide receivers in football by anything you look at. He has now had less than 50 yards in 3 of the 4 games that he's gone out there with J.J. McCarthy. His low with Carson Wentz was 74, and he had a broken shoulder, basically, it looks like, throughout that entire run. And for Justin Jefferson, you can tell there's frustration. Now, he's taking a lot more ownership, it seems, of the situation, Joe, maybe more so than what we've seen from some other wide receivers around the league. But if you can't get the ball to Justin Jefferson, you just cannot be the quarterback of this team. I think that's fair. Yeah. Like, that is a very simple setup here for this Minnesota team. McCarthy is not going to get a level of grace that other quarterbacks would. How much do you think the ball is forced? Isn't my favorite word, but it's the one I have available, right? Forced to Justin Jefferson in this game.
Well, again, you got to give him targets. That's the bottom line,
yeah,
and that's why
he had 12 last week. But
that's why Jake Browning it wasn't the starter in Cincinnati, because he wasn't finding Chase and Higgins on a consistent basis. He wasn't doing that.
Rusky Merritt gets a carry for nothing.
I told you, this guy's garbage. He's a waif.
Don't look so happy.
He's too light. This guy, look at him.
He could have. I like the play call though. A little toss sweep.
Yeah. Get the guy that's going to run downhill, man.
Maybe he'll break the net.
No,
you're already putting your guy back in.
Yeah, he's in there.
No, he's not.
Yeah, I'm watching him.
No, you're not.
Yeah.
I mean, truly, you have the worst eyes in the business. That computer couldn't be closer to your face, and you don't know who's on the field. You have Lisi vision. That's what you have. Lisi vision.
It is crusty.
Balls in the air. Is that Pitts? That's you. Balls in the air.
I'm on Pitts today.
I know you are. First of all,
touchdown.
Yeah, I know. You give me the work to do.
Penix. All these other guys have neck braces on. They don't look the other way. London, they would just zero in on the same guy.
You are. So if that's what's happening, why do you then keep going back to these other guys?
Because at some point, the guy's going to have no touchdowns.
Lisi's due. We're due to continue to break down today's slate after the break right here on SportsGrid. What did Mariota just do?
Detroit's going to be a top 6 team in the East. And they're going to be extremely dangerous. And it may be fun to watching that Central Division between Detroit and Cleveland. Kind of makes you think back to the early 2000s with LeBron and obviously the Chauncey Billups-led Detroit team. But Detroit basketball's back.
Pro basketball today, only on SportsGrid.
His daughter, she's on the OF.
Okay.
She's on the OF.
Is that right?
Yeah, she's on the OF.
So he's got
now.
an OnlyFans daughter and a little son
who says he can beat Curry and LeBron.
And he's coaching a team that was down 72 to
Keep
nothing.
that dude away from polite society.
Okay, by the way, I'm with you. I didn't know any of that is.
Numerous pops gotta go.
The Craig Carton Show, only on SportsGrid.
I can just cash out and say, see you later, bye-bye, and sell that contract. So there is a big difference. I've already said I will never, ever, ever again make a future bet with a sports book where the money gets tied up and I have to wait till the outcome of the event. Don't have to do that. All future bets for me are going to Kalshi.
The Early Line, only on SportsGrid.
And the amazing thing you're going to say about Tom Izzo for the jump is, Tom Izzo don't duck anybody. You want to hear who they have to play preseason? Kentucky, Duke, UNC, and Arkansas. This is not the Jimmy Boeheim Don't Leave New York Carrier Dome Classic. This guy plays people.
College basketball today, only on SportsGrid.
Back right here on Pro Football Today. Just a quick update from Washington and Miami. A very weird play where Chop Robinson, a Dolphins defensive lineman, gets the immediate pressure on Mariota. He spins, gets rid of it in an attempt to save the sack, maybe a safety. It could have been intentional grounding. To my understanding, again, we don't have the volume, but we're tracking the game along with you. That football is thrown away and not called for intentional grounding, but Mariota maybe banged up on the play, which, if that is the case, because it's 3rd and 15, it's probably a run, punt, and then hope the defense can step up as you try and see what Mariota, what's the situation here by the time they would get back out there on the field. We will continue to follow this game, but with this matchup between the Vikings and the Bears, you have two fascinating teams. And look, for McCarthy, I know it's tough. He's young. He's just getting going here, but you have to be able to get the football to Justin Jefferson. That's what it's going to be. I think that's not what he's going to be measured on in terms of wins and losses, but when you're losing and Jefferson's not eating, that noise is going to get louder. For the Chicago Bears, they have had such a fascinating season where Caleb Williams is not playing like a superstar until the big moment. And, Joe, he has been, it feels pretty masterful in the clutch right now for Chicago. He has the comebacks against Cincinnati, against the Giants, against Washington. The Raiders, they were even down. But then you kind of listen to the teams I listed off, and it's like, ooh, they're needing a lot of heroics to beat teams that aren't so great here, right? During this streak where they've won 6 of 7, the loss was to Tyler Huntley and the Ravens. Like, that doesn't look as good in hindsight. So it's this very interesting situation for the Bears where they check into this game as 2.5 to 3-point underdogs against the Vikings and a banged-up defense. I'm not running to back Chicago in this one.
No, but they are battle-tested on the road. They're a pretty good road team. You talk about the loss to the Ravens on the road, but they also knocked off the Raiders and the Commanders and the Bengals all away from their building, right? Tougher matchup, divisional opponent with Minnesota. They're going to bring it, as we know, from a defensive perspective. They're going to blitz and see if they can get to Caleb in this matchup. But when Streetball Williams turns on in the fourth quarter, he is electric. I'll give him that. He looks like he's back at USC, improvising, buying time, jumping when he shouldn't. Just he gives that little giddy up, and then Streetball Williams. But that's his strength right now. That is one. But Ben Johnson has given him a leash. He's put playmakers around him, and he's starting to evolve in that offense where they're starting to believe in the fourth quarter they can pull these games out.
I think it's interesting because, with Caleb, right, these wild plays, right, that was the allure.
You love those wild plays.
Well, they're great.
You love them. I know. I'm not even watching the game with you, and I hear you. Well, and I just go, Streetball Williams.
He's just running around like a man. Here's the thing. Like, this is what Josh Allen, I feel like, used to do, and now he's a little bit more, check it down, not as much. Like, Caleb has, again, it's why you would watch his game. Like, oh, there's a little Mahomesian in there, right? Mm-hmm. Like, it's very unique, and there's not a lot of guys that do it, but I think for Caleb, the ideal world is you do that stuff when you need to, not that's how I am consistently winning, right? You want to be able to get the simple stuff to be simple and easy, and that's not going on. Caleb, I think for the second year in a row, was like, I want to complete 70% of my passes. Like, brother, cut it out, all right? You're at 60.8% right now. He absolutely has a chance to become the first 4,000-yard passer for the Chicago Bears. The touchdowns seem to all come in bunches. He has, 2 games with 3 or more, and then he's got a bunch of games with 1 or none, in fact, here. I look at this game, Joe, and I do think Caleb is the much better quarterback, but I'm not sure that alone is enough to get me interested in the Bears. I will say for Chicago, Lisi, though, as a team, removing the quarterback and everything, they are one of 8 teams fighting for a playoff spot in the NFC, right? I think that's fair to say when you look through it, right? But you also have a situation where about 5 teams already know they're in, it feels like. Seahawks, Rams, Eagles, Lions, Bucks. So you then have the Bears, the Packers, and the 49ers all vying for that playoff spot. The Bears have to keep stacking wins. Do you see the potential for this team to do that with not the easiest remaining schedule left in the world?
I think it's possible, yeah, because, again, he's playing his style. They're winning games. They have an identity.
Yep.
He knows the players that he wants to go to, right? I mean, in the red zone, it's Dunze and some others, right? Loveland, that he's got that relationship with. DJ Moore's a forgotten man. Yardage-wise, he picks it up, but in the red zone, he just can't seem to hit pay dirt. And Swift and Monangai are great running backs right now. I mean, they're productive. What more from an offensive perspective can you ask for? I think now their defense has been opportunistic. Again, they're 3-2 on the road, but they have some quality wins where, hey, when you can win on the road, that's great. That's a great MO to head into the playoffs.
Yeah.
This team could be 8 or 9, 10-win football team. That would be huge for them.
No, listen,
8.5 was the win total.
Yes, you're absolutely spot on for this team. Getting to 9 would be awesome, but I think for the Bears, if you don't make the playoffs, looking at this schedule, you play Green Bay twice. What that likely means is where you fell short was once again in your head-to-head matchups with the Packers. You also have a game against the Niners. Happens to be on the road, so it's not the easiest game in the world, but these teams, the Bears, are trying to hunt down. I mean, it's right there for them. It is right there, and I am fascinated to see if they are going to be able to make up that ground all in all here, because, I mean, we haven't, listen, let's fit this in here quickly, Joe. How do you feel about Green Bay today going up against Jameis Winston and the New York Giants?
I mean, again, they should abuse them today, but they are so confusing to me. Defensively, they should be able to force 3 turnovers against Jameis. They should be, right? 3 interceptions, and that means field position. At worst, they should grind this game out 24-10, right? Mm-hmm. They should have a win and cover. But again, who was the number 1 on that team for the wide receiver position? Is it Christian Watson? Is it Dobbs? Is it Wicks? It used to be Tucker Kraft. Is he going to Musgrave? When Jordan Reed is in there, is it him? They have no clear-cut number 1. And that's why when you have a number of different players, and I think the Steelers are like this too, they have DK, but he throws the football to a number of different guys. Yeah. They don't have an offensive identity. And that's the problem. You look at all the great teams. You look at your team, right? No. It's AJ and it's Devontae, right? You know it, right?
Do they know it?
Yeah,
I don't think
they
that's
know
my favorite example you went to.
Detroit, St. Brown and Jameson, all right? The LA Rams, Puka and everybody else, and Devontae. Mm-hmm. Seattle, JSN now, right? I'm just saying, you know who the number 1 is. With Green Bay and all these other teams that we're talking about, maybe it's this guy 1 week, maybe it's you're always guessing, and I feel like that from the head coaching perspective, it's like a toss-up because they don't know. They don't have a clear-cut type of situation.
For me, the most interesting element of this game is actually not Jordan Love. Great defenses have off weeks, and it is tough to show up again and again and again, especially when you feel like your offense isn't reciprocating. And for the Packers, they now, and it's been even vocal because that's the MO with Micah Parsons, that they've been doing their part. They play Jameis Winston today. And if they're locked in, they could have themselves a field day. And if they're not, then this game could get weird really, really quickly. Go from the NFC North to the AFC North after a quick break on SportsGrid.
Detroit's going to be a top 6 team in the East. And they're going to be extremely dangerous And it may be fun to watching that Central Division between Detroit and Cleveland. Kind of makes you think back to the old early 2000s with LeBron and obviously the Chauncey Billups-led Detroit team. But Detroit basketball's back.
Pro basketball today, only on SportsGrid.
His daughter, she's on the OF.
Okay.
She's on the OF.
Oh, is
now.
that right?
Yeah, she's on the OF.
So he's got
now.
an OnlyFans daughter and a little son
who says he can beat Curry and LeBron.
And he's coaching a team that was down 72 to
Keep
nothing.
that dude away from polite society.
Okay, by the way, I'm with you. I didn't know any of that is.
Numerous pops gotta go.
The Craig Carton Show, only on SportsGrid.
I can just cash out and say, see you later, bye-bye, and sell that contract. So there is a big difference. I've already said I will never, ever, ever again make a future bet with a sports book where the money gets tied up and I have to wait till the outcome of the event. Don't have to do that. All future bets for me are going to Kalshi.
The Early Line, only on SportsGrid.
And the amazing thing you're going to say about Tom Izzo for the jump is, Tom Izzo don't duck anybody. You want to hear who they have to play preseason? Kentucky, Duke, UNC, and Arkansas. This is not the Jimmy Boeheim Don't Leave New York Carrier Dome Classic. This guy plays people.
College basketball today, only on SportsGrid.
All right, we're back with you right here. It is Pro Football Today. And, Joe, when we take a look at the AFC North, fascinating week on their hands. The biggest game, as they're all playing head-to-head, is probably Cincinnati and Pittsburgh, because the Bengals get word that Joe Burrow could be back way sooner than expected. But I think there's also been some rumblings of, maybe he comes back if things look worth coming back to. And I don't know if they'll look worth coming back to if they lose to the Pittsburgh Steelers. They'll be 3-7. They host New England the following week. I don't think he plays in that one. There'll be a dog. At 3-8, is he rushing to play a Christmas or a Thanksgiving game against Baltimore?
No.
I'm not so sure he is. How do you feel about Cincinnati on the road against the Steelers off a bye week?
I like Cincinnati in this matchup. Again, I just believe that it is Flacco going up against a defense that he shredded about 4 weeks ago, and I still think that'll carry through. And Jamar Chase and T. Higgins match up fantastic against that secondary, and until that changes, I can't buy in. I can't buy in any capacity. Yeah. So you want to give me 5.5 points with a divisional opponent to a team that they already lost? I never thought that Pittsburgh would be a 9-win football team this year. In fact, I was on record saying they were a 7-win football team, and I'm sticking to it.
So this is a spot where I am not desperate to lay this number with Pittsburgh, Joe, but I don't have a ton of faith in Cincinnati. Flacco on the road. You got to realize the only road game he actually played was that first start against Green Bay. He had a softer landing, right, than I think people realized coming into this game against Cincinnati. But it's also a very banged-up Pittsburgh defense. The Cincinnati defense is in disarray. We all know that. I want to play the under in this one. I have a Sunday morning crunch prop from this game, so I'm going to wait. We're going to do that. That's coming up within less than 10 minutes' time. That stood out to me, but I just can't get to what this game, in terms of expectations-wise. Mm-hmm. These teams played once, right? You get the stunning 33-31 absolute shootout. The quarterbacks combine for over 600 yards, 7 passing touchdowns. I mean, it was just a crazy, crazy game, Joe. And now it's like, yeah, it'll look like that again. Like, we know the ebbs and flows of this league. This is a game that I'm not super invested in, but it's a game that, again, I think both of these teams need. Because let's be very clear. If Pittsburgh drops this game and fall to 5-5, well, it's then on the Browns to pull off an upset over Baltimore, or otherwise these teams will be even at 5-5. Like, we say it's an important game for Cincinnati, but this team getting in is a long shot regardless. The Steelers, I mean, there's no reason for Pittsburgh to think they can't win a division or even get in as a wild card team. They have to handle business here against the Bengals.
They have to, but again, do you have confidence in them? Do you have confidence in Pittsburgh as a team that's a contender?
No, they're not a contender, Joe, but I also think we've seen they're roller coaster, right? Up and down nature.
Ollie Gordon touchdown.
Yeah. But Joe, think about it. They smash the Browns, they cover the number. Cincinnati upsets them outright. Then they're getting all this love against Green Bay. We saw it coming. Then, they're dead man walking against the Colts. Saw it coming.
They lost to Seattle. They got smacked around. Where's the quality?
They stink.
Their
so
quality win is the Colts.
Yes, but hold on, they're not good, but neither is Cincinnati. Now, the Ravens, Joe, again, I told you at the top, I'm interested. I am. But they have to avoid something. They're usually good for a slip-up a year.
Okay.
Like they lose a weird one as a touchdown favorite. Is that here today against the Browns?
The Browns held the Jets to under 175 yards of total offense.
Yeah.
And they lost the game, right? I think it was like the first time in NFL history that happened. You have to double check, but that's amazing. I mean, their defense brings it each and every week for the most part. They have no quarterback play. I mean, Dylan Gabriel is not the answer. So it's got to be Quinshon Judkins. Can they run on this team that was suspect against the run earlier in the year and is buckled up? I would think that they can. I mean, again, I like the Browns at home in this matchup. I don't know. I just think their defense is legit. I think their defense can keep them in it.
Yeah,
I think it's a 30-carry day for Quinshon Judkins.
If the script allows it, sure.
Yeah.
Marlon Humphrey injured. We've seen that be very – this Ravens defense is almost like a Jenga puzzle. You pull out one piece, the whole thing falls apart. They can't. Remember Robert, Mdike misses a game?
Yeah.
I'm like, well, what do you want him to do? What are you talking about? He's not – this guy's not Aaron Donald. What do you mean? Like, I'd like for the defense to look okay. And it didn't. Like, and then it just got worse and it fell on top of itself here. I feel like this game could sneaky end up having points. But, again, the higher the score, the more that I think favors Baltimore because there's just a huge gap offensively. I mean, there really is.
Right.
One of the interesting things with this game to keep an eye on, though, truly, is Myles Garrett. I never thought that Myles Garrett, no matter what he did, could win Defensive Player of the Year on a team like the Browns.
What are you thinking?
Well, he's tied for first in sacks. He's booked as the favorite, and they're 2-7. I mean, the books clearly think that the notion is just going to be Myles is that good. He's the Defensive Player of the Year. Because Parsons and the Packers are now not, again, defensively they're meeting expectations, but the record's going to be held against them. Aiden Hutchinson and the Lions haven't had, I don't know, they had a good game against Baltimore where he had a couple of moments, but it's not been super consistent, I think, from that unit. Benito's in an uphill battle. Just some of it is.
He's not even known Benito.
That's what but it's the guys that you're competing against,
right.
It's an uphill battle. And then you get Will Anderson is, again, knocking on the door, but the team is bad.
Yeah, team is terrible.
You know what I mean? So, I know you got three guys from really good teams, and you got two guys who might be the two best, but they're on awful football teams.
But you see, Garrett has that recognition, right? Where if he is there, he's going to be garnered as one of the best in the business. And at the end of the day, that's the market that you're betting. I mean, look, if he's consistent and plays 17 games and plays at an elite level,
20 sack season,
and they win 5 games or 4 games,
that's my only thing is, what do they need record-wise for him to win?
Not 2.
Yeah, but I don't know if he needs 5. It's like
4?
They need like a marquee upset where then he had a 5-sack game against the Pats, and it was like, never mind. He's just so clearly the guy. Let's get a quick break here and head on over to your Sunday morning crunch. That is next on Pro Football Today.
Detroit's going to be a top 6 team in the East. And they're going to be extremely dangerous And it may be fun to watching that Central Division between Detroit and Cleveland. Kind of makes you think back to the old early 2000s with LeBron and obviously the Chauncey Billups-led Detroit team. But Detroit basketball's back.
Pro basketball today, only on SportsGrid.
His daughter, she's on the OF.
Okay.
She's on the OF now.
Is that right?
Yeah, she's on the OF now.
So he's got an OnlyFans daughter and a little son
who says he can beat Curry and LeBron.
And he's coaching a team that was down 72 to
Keep
nothing.
that dude away from polite society.
Okay, by the way, I'm with you. I didn't know any of that is
Numerous
great.
Pops gotta go.
The Craig Carton Show, only on SportsGrid.
I can just cash out and say, see you later, bye-bye, and sell that contract. So there is a big difference. I've already said I will never, ever, ever again make a future bet with a sports book where the money gets tied up and I have to wait till the outcome of the event. Don't have to do that. All future bets for me are going to Kalshi.
The Early Line, only on SportsGrid.
And the amazing thing you're going to say about Tom Izzo for the jump is, Tom Izzo don't duck anybody. You want to hear who they have to play preseason? Kentucky, Duke, UNC, and Arkansas. This is not the Jimmy Boeheim Don't Leave New York Carrier Dome Classic. This guy plays people.
College basketball today, only on SportsGrid.
All right, live right here on SportsGrid before our crunch. Lisi, can you give me an update on what you're seeing from the Commanders on this drive?
Yeah, all Crosby merit. That's it. Guys stepping up. We forgot. That's it. They got the call from the red phone. That's it. Use them. Use them. All of a sudden, Chris Rodriguez, forgotten afterthought.
Well, listen, I think you were speaking down on Jakrowski Mary. I mean, this guy's got to get involved. He's got some good players. He's got some talent to him. Over the 13 and a half.
He's a tweener. Did he get through his number?
Yeah.
Good.
Now he's done.
Stop talking about him. Can we get Rodriguez into the end zone?
We'll see. Mariota right now is going to potentially get them into the end zone. Certainly way down there. We'll keep eyes here.
Wow.
But let's get you your Sunday morning crunch. All right, it is crunch time here on Pro Football Today. Lisi, I know there are some props catching your eye, including a wide receiver look that I am a real big fan of yours.
Yeah, so last week in the loss to Baltimore, Jordan Addison wasn't targeted basically until the second half of that matchup. Got 30, 35 yards receiving. I think he has a bigger part in the offense today. I know everybody's talking about Justin Jefferson, but he's got a light number, 47.5. I think he can get to 60, 70 plus. Also took him from anytime touchdown, so I like that in the matchup. We talk about quarterbacks. Carolina dominated Atlanta. First time they played, they put up a 30 spot. I don't think it's similar to that, but I do like Carolina catching the 3.5 points. I know Atlanta's bad against the run, but I'm going with Bryce Young. Tempered, lowered down numbers, 167.5. I think he can get closer to 200. Do like him. And then in the late game, do like points in Kansas City and Denver. We talk about Evan Ingram not utilized against Las Vegas, but we know how Kansas City gives up a lot to the tight ends. He might hit pay dirt, but 24.5 to me is light.
I'm very interested to see what we get out of the Bryce Young-led Carolina Panthers offense. I think there is some real room to blossom here today for that team, perhaps be a little unpredictable against Atlanta, and maybe get through a team total positioned around 18.5. or 19.5. Sunday morning crunch for me, I will just say this. We don't want to double up picks here because we want to get you, enough action for you guys. But Jordan Addison would have made my card, if not Lisi's. I really like where he's at there. What did make my card was an Aaron Rodgers under 22.5 completions. I find myself thinking Steelers and under in this game. So game script-wise, That's about right what we're seeing here. But this is also just the MO for this Steelers team, is to play slow ball control. You now have yourself in a spot with a potential weather impact where there shouldn't be tons and tons of throwing. Factor in a Cincinnati defense where only 4 quarterbacks have gone over that number against them because there's plenty of chunk plays, and they're playing teams that throw it at a much higher rate than Pittsburgh throughout the season. Rodgers had gone under this in, I believe it was the first 5 games to start the season. 3 straight overs, but it was back to an under in their most recent game. I like him under 22.5 completions. A combination here in the big one between the Rams and the Seahawks. We talked about this, but I'll take 200 plus on a combination prop for Smith and Jigba and Puka Nacua. I am also playing them for 10 yards each a quarter at 13-1. Whatever I can really find on these guys is what I am interested in, because this is a spot where you get what has been maybe the 2 best receivers in football this year out there on the field together, and I like my chances to have if not both of them for 120 plus. Again, I'm going to keep playing alts and get this higher and higher throughout the day. Last one here is Lamar Jackson over 1.5 passing touchdowns. You do not see a number like this for Lamar very often, but there's respect for the Browns defense in the market, as well as the weather concerns that we are seeing in a number of your outdoor games. But the Browns allow the fewest rushing touchdowns in football. That means more air work for Lamar. Also, Lamar Jackson isn't necessarily the king of the deep passing touchdown. There's a lot of 2-3 yard touchdown passes. We've seen that since he's come back. Lamar's not gone consecutive games without throwing 2+ since the first 3 weeks of 2024, and he has thrown at least 2 in 72% of his last 25 games. That is 18 of 25. That includes the playoffs. I like Lamar over 1.5 passing touchdowns, and we're gonna get a nice little update for everybody here in Spain. Lisi, you like Lamar over 1.5
touchdowns?
Passes.
Yeah.
All right. No, it's all right.
I'm on the other side. I like.
So can't throw 2?
All right, sure. Yeah, you can throw 3.
I'm just saying. I try to convince you on Corey Krosky Marriott. You weren't
Stop,
listening.
because it's obvious that Chris Rodriguez is hurt, because I haven't seen him now. They're on the goal line. It's McNichols and Krosky Marriott.
Maybe better backs are just starting.
Yeah, better backs. He's got 80 yards on basically 10 carries.
We will update you on Madrid after the break, right here on Pro Football Today.
Detroit's going to be a top 6 team in the East. And they're going to be extremely dangerous. And it may be fun to watching that Central Division between Detroit and Cleveland. Kind of makes you think back to the old early 2000s with LeBron and obviously the Chauncey Billups-led Detroit team. But Detroit basketball's back.
Pro Basketball Today, only on SportsGrid.
His daughter, she's on the OF.
Okay.
She's on the OF.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah, she's on the OF.
So he's got
now.
an OnlyFans daughter and a little son
who says he can beat Curry and LeBron.
And he's coaching a team that was down 72 to
Keep
nothing.
that dude away from polite society.
Okay, by the way, I'm with you. I didn't know any of that is.
Newman's pops gotta go.
The Craig Carton Show, only on SportsGrid.
I can just cash out and say, see you later, bye-bye, and sell that contract. So there is a big difference. I've already said I will never, ever, ever again make a future bet with a sports book where the money gets tied up and I have to wait till the outcome of the event. Don't have to do that. All future bets for me are going to Kalshi.
The Early Line, only on SportsGrid.
And the major thing you're going to say about Tom Izzo for the jump is, Tom Izzo don't duck anybody. You want to hear who they have to play preseason? Kentucky, Duke, UNC, and Arkansas. This is not the Jimmy Boeheim Don't Leave New York Carrier Dome Classic. This guy plays people.
College Basketball Today, only on SportsGrid.